Some stories don't disappear. They don't die. They don't even fade. They get buried. Buried under money. Buried under titles. Buried under silence so thick it feels like concrete. And the only reason this one is breathing again is because the woman who allegedly knew the most has nothing left to lose. Behind prison walls, far from champagne decks and royal corridors, Ghislaine Maxwell has reportedly spoken in fragments. Not interviews. Not confessions. Whispers. Hints. Pieces. The kind of half-truths that don't scream. They crawl under your skin. And inside those fragments is a name nobody expected. Meghan Markle. According to people who claim to have heard these whispers secondhand, Maxwell allegedly hinted at a chapter involving Prince Andrew, long before Harry, long before Hollywood, long before crowns and cameras. Not in London, not in California, but on a yacht. If that sounds outrageous, good. That's exactly how dangerous stories always begin. Because once you start lining up dates, once you trace movements, once you match who is where and when, the puzzle doesn't fall apart. It locks into place. And buried inside that lock is one detail that changes everything. A medical crisis, a sudden procedure, and a moment in 2002 that allegedly rewrote an entire future. But to understand how any of that could even be possible, you have to go back to where it all allegedly began. Nice, France. February 2002. The air is warm. The harbor glows gold. And a yacht sits at the dock. Not a party boat, not a rental, but a private floating kingdom owned by a Greek billionaire. This wasn't a casual night. It was a celebration built around one VIP guest, Prince Andrew. At the time, he was traveling Europe on official duties, polished, protected, powerful. The kind of man rooms rearranged themselves around. And that same night, stepping onto that yacht with absolute confidence, was a young woman no one recognized. No title, no fame, no royal ties, just ambition sharp enough to cut glass. According to an alleged witness, an Australian backpacker later known only as Bob, Meghan Markle was already on board when Andrew arrived. Bob didn't belong there. He wasn't rich, connected, or important. He was just a traveler who'd been invited by the yacht owner's son after a chance meeting in Nice. Wrong place, wrong night, front row seat. Bob would later claim something felt off immediately. Not chaotic, not wild, but intentional. Like someone had already decided how the night would end. Meghan, he said, wasn't blending in. She was performing, telling people her father was a major Hollywood lighting director, talking about acting roles, saying, without irony, that one day she'd become president of the United States. The other women allegedly rolled their eyes, whispered, mocked. Meghan didn't care, because she wasn't there for them. She was watching the stairs, waiting. And when Prince Andrew finally boarded, the temperature changed. People paused. Music softened. Power entered the room. And according to this witness, Meghan didn't hesitate. No shyness. No second-guessing. No waiting her turn. Less than 30 minutes after Andrew arrived, she was allegedly sitting on his lap, whispering into his ear, wearing a white bikini that caught every light on the deck. No one stopped it. No one interrupted. And Andrew didn't move away. That moment, quiet, bold, unblinking, was the spark. Because what followed next, according to multiple whispered accounts, wasn't a flirtation. It was a disappearance. Meghan and Andrew allegedly went below deck. And for 3 full days, they didn't come back up. Food delivered to one cabin. Drinks sent downstairs. A closed door that stayed closed. No witnesses. No recordings. No proof. Just silence. And when Meghan finally reappeared, sunlit and smiling, she allegedly said something that froze the air around her. I've got my prince at last. Not a joke. Not playful. A declaration. And that's where part 1 ends. Because the yacht wasn't the story. It was the trigger. What came after. The silence, the calls that went unanswered, the secret she believed she was carrying. That's where everything turns darker. When the yacht finally docked and the champagne glasses were cleared, Meghan didn't leave feeling like a fling had ended. According to those who later spoke in hushed tones, she left believing something had begun. 3 days below deck don't disappear from your mind like a bad party. They settle. They root. They convince you that something real happened, something meaningful, something that rewrote the map of your life. And for a brief moment after Nice, Meghan allegedly acted like a woman who thought her future had shifted upward. She spoke differently, moved differently, planned differently. According to sources connected through the same small social circle around the yacht, she believed she now had access, not just to a man, but to a world, a royal world, a protected world, one where phone calls get answered and doors open quietly. At first, there was contact, sparse, careful, but enough to keep hope alive. Then Andrew returned to London, and the line went dead. Calls rang unanswered. Messages didn't land. Numbers stopped working. At first, Meghan reportedly assumed it was logistics, royal schedules, security filters, staff interference. But as days turned into weeks, the silence hardened into something colder: rejection. According to sources, Prince Andrew allegedly instructed his staff not to put her through. No explanations, no closure, just a wall. And that wall mattered, because if the whispers are to be believed, Meghan wasn't trying to reconnect for nostalgia. She was trying to deliver news. News she believed changed everything. Behind closed doors, among the same small group who had watched the yacht story unfold, Meghan allegedly confided that she thought she was pregnant. She believed the timing pointed to Andrew. And in her mind, this wasn't scandal. It was leverage, destiny, maybe even protection. But the phone never rang back, and the silence forced a decision no one prepares for alone. According to second-hand accounts, she ultimately chose to terminate the pregnancy, believing there was no support, no acknowledgement, and no future in carrying it forward. If true, it wasn't framed as ambition. It was framed as abandonment. The prince had vanished. The story had no witness, and she was left holding the consequence. If the story ended there, it would already be heavy. But the whispers don't stop at grief. They spiral. In the months that followed, Meghan reportedly attempted reinvention again. New circles, new men, new power structures. According to sources, she became involved with a politically connected figure, then later with an actor. And this is where the story takes its sharpest turn. According to the same chain of alleged accounts, the later relationship resulted in a serious medical crisis. An infection, rapid deterioration, emergency intervention. By April 2002, whispers claim Meghan underwent a hysterectomy following complications that escalated far beyond what anyone expected. No press, no public record, no narrative, just silence again. Whether true or not, this alleged medical event becomes the hinge point of the entire story. Because from that moment on, the dream subtly changes. The pursuit shifts. The reinvention becomes more aggressive, more strategic, more relentless. Years pass. Meghan Markle becomes an actress, then a public figure, then, impossibly, a duchess. And yet, according to royal watchers and insiders, one detail always lingered strangely in the background. Her interactions with Prince Andrew. Cold, avoidant, carefully distant. Those who claim to have noticed it describe the tension as unnatural, as if both parties were silently acknowledging a chapter neither wanted reopened. Not anger, not hatred, fear of memory. And then comes the final layer, the reason this story resurfaced at all. According to reports swirling around prison conversations, Ghislaine Maxwell allegedly hinted at a young woman, 3 days, and a situation Andrew prayed would stay buried. No names spoken publicly, no confirmations, just enough detail to reignite old whispers among those who already knew where to look. The yacht, the silence, the medical crisis, the reinvention. This is not a story proven in courtrooms or documents. It lives in alleged timelines, whispered recollections, and the uncomfortable spaces between official narratives. But stories like this don't persist because they're entertaining. They persist because too many details refuse to disappear. And whether any part of it is true or not, one thing is undeniable. Some chapters are never written into biographies for a reason. They don't fit the image. They don't serve the crown. And they threaten too many powerful people at once. In the end, this story doesn't ask you to believe it. It asks you to notice how carefully it was avoided. Because ghosts don't haunt unless something once lived there. And some silences are louder than confessions.